Well, that was hey, talking on the pod. That's kind of meta, wouldn't you say?
Talking?
No, that is meta.
Wow. Wow.
I thought that was a good little segue into. You guys see what Facebook's been up to lately?
Dude, tell me.
Well, I mean, I actually don't know how to explain it. They've rebranded, right? The not Facebook itself, but the parent company they've rebranded as Meta. And did any of you guys see the video during the week that Mark Zuckerberg featured in?
I did.
Of him introducing the Metaverse.
I mean, what an introduction. I mean, if that's what the future has in store, I mean, wow, what a time to be alive, first of all. Thank you, Mark, for coming up with this brilliant idea. Should we briefly explain? So what actually was the purpose of this video? Because I have seen it. Don't know what it was about. Don't know any, like...
I mean, I would say just quickly, like, if you haven't seen the video, I'd strongly recommend that you go... watch it. Just pause the pod and go watch it. It's not that long, and it really, like, it's hard to do justice to just how fucked up and weird this cunt's head is.
But let's try. So I guess
set the scene for us. Like, what are you seeing? We turn on the video. What's the first thing you see?
So essentially, the video opens. It's been a couple of days since I watched it, but it's Mark Zuckerberg, and he, I think, just like wants to hang out with some of his friends. So he straps on his VR goggles, and he enters this kind of I don't know, like this 3D, you know, virtual reality, how dog shit that usually looks. It kind of looks like that, but he's catching up with all his mates, so they're all in the virtual reality world with him. I think his wife's there as well, and they're like hanging out, and they're like, "Hey, you guys see that funny cat video or whatever?" And he like sends the cat video to his mate or something, and then he's like, "Let's see what my wife's up to." And then he's like in the virtual reality world, he'll like call his wife, and then his wife will be on speakerphone, and she's like walking around or something. I mean, it's not exactly that, but it's kind of like...
And they're in space, right? They're like astronauts for some reason. They're floating around. Yeah. They're defying the laws of physics and watching internet videos of dogs.
It's pretty much like the next frontier of social media, I guess. That's probably how they're imagining it. That's the PR version of it.
It looked to me kind of like the sort of shitty like graphics you remember from like any Nintendo 64 game. And the whole thing could have been like created by Nintendo. It might be like they're just, and the whole point of this sort of other realm, it's a whole universe, virtual reality universe where all you can do, as far as I can tell, is look at fucking funny videos, as you said.
Well, the thing is, right, virtual reality has been around a long time, and it's not popular because it's shit. Like, that's like, because it has existed for ages. No one wants to do it. And all of these fucking weird bug-eyed cunts like Mark Zuckerberg are trying to like make it a thing, but no one's interested. It's kind of like Siri. Like, you know how like for ages they're like, you got to use the smart assistant, blah, blah, blah. And no one fucking uses it except to be like, set an alarm or tell me what the weather is right now. Other than that, no one uses these things. It's just like tech bro shit that they're trying to shove down our throats. That's what I think the whole VR thing is.
Is this a genuine thing that they're trying to pursue, like as their main thing? Because Facebook as a platform, yes, it's extremely popular. Yes, almost everyone on the planet fucking has it, I guess. But people really don't like or use 99% of it. It's essentially just...
except for like right-wing psychos,
except
right?
for
That's
psychos
pretty much
who
the
get
market.
their conspiracy theories.
Well, maybe
on
that's what it'll be like. It'll be like, hey guys, this is Mark Zuckerberg. Oh look, Malcolm Roberts is here. Hey Malcolm, how's it going, man? Let's go hang out with Whoa, all my friends are here.
Yeah, maybe in the metaverse, you can be a right-wing extremist and you can just be kicking a minority and like curb stomping a black guy and like everything that you could possibly dream of and want.
What a dream! Oh, where's George Christensen though? Let's video call Manila. Oh, George, turn on your video, man. Turn it on. No, I won't do that.
Yeah, do not open any videos that George Christensen sends you via Meta.
Oh, whoa, what's this? This is so cool, man. Some street artist has been leaving like QR codes around and all around the city, and we can like check out this cool art. Let's have a look. Whoa, it's like a massive 3D swastika. That's so cool, man.
Wait, I'm sorry, can we talk about that for a second? Yeah, are they 3D really saying in the future I'm going to have to pay for fucking graffiti? Like, someone to get tags like my fucking building. You pay for that? Pay-per-view.
I mean, it's art, dude, and you can contribute directly to them. Because in the video, right, they're looking at this, this kind of like 3D graffiti shit or whatever, and then it starts to fade, and so then Mark or something is like, "Oh, let's pay the artist to like keep it here or whatever, so we can keep watching this shit picture or whatever."
Dude, it's so funny that like every sort of tech company, because they're so uncool and they're full of these fucking nerds that just have happened into so much money, but they actually are not in touch with culture at all. But they've heard,
I know,
20 years ago that graffiti's cool, and now anytime any brand or any like tech company does anything that's supposed to engage with like culture, it's always like, let's get a street artist. It's like I haven't been impressed by a street artist.
No one likes street art.
It's one of the least cool forms of art.
It's vandalism, in my opinion.
It's people that think like Banksy is the most, like profound art.
But this is what I was trying to get at. Like, so is this their next great idea, bearing in mind that most of Facebook was a bad idea and people actually don't like it? So is this a genuine pitch for what they're pursuing in the future as the next big thing? Or is it just like some weird pointless deflection thing because they get a bit of bad
I think it's
PR?
a lot of that, right? Like, I feel like all these companies, they have projects like this which are not fully realized at all, but it is just PR, right? It's like, look how like far ahead Facebook are. Look at all the cool shit you can do.
Yeah, they
like,
came up with VR from the 90s, like you said. Like,
it looks so shit. Like, Nathan, you mentioned it before. Like, it looks like The Sims from the 90s. Like, I couldn't believe how bad it looks.
It's awful. And that's not even talking about how bad you look when you're in there. You got to wear that stupid fucking headset.
But I can't get over how fucking infantile it was as well. I don't seriously supposed to use it. So in the video, literally, it's Mark Zuckerberg as like a Nintendo character. And you can choose like to dress up as a pirate or a fucking astronaut or something. Just embarrassing. And then he's sitting around a table playing fucking cards with like what look like the fucking robot from Flubber and like a Bonzi buddy or something. Like, why
Bonzi buddy?
Why they designing this
purple
thing
gorilla?
for children? Yeah,
it's that infantilization of millennials, which I reckon that's what will make it so successful. Like, look at fucking Harry Potter, dude. Look at that fucking. Look at like all the adults still dressing up as Draco Malfoy and casting spells at people. It's like the millennial generation has not grown up since when they were 14. Yeah. They've just like said that's who they are, and they've never developed.
Well, it's because our lives are awful, right? And like when we were children, it was good. So we kind of just revert back to the stage when the world was cool, which was like in early 90s, like in the 90s. So we've never progressed. And because we don't have any money, none of us get to do any of the kind of milestones that our parents did. We can't afford to buy a house, obviously. Like we can't afford to, get married, or even having children is like an impossible dream for most people. And so we just live in this bizarre childish fantasy. And this is what Mark, actual alien Zuckerberg, has in mind when he comes up with this, as you say, infantile bullshit.
I think you've really hit on something there, Andrew, because this does look like, you have to assume that this is his vision for the future, and this is the world that he wants to live in, and this is like the Mark Zuckerberg
because he can have
universe.
magic friends.
You could do
He can like have made up friends because he's got, I imagine, no actual friends in the real world, but he can have like a robot friend and play cards with him.
But that's it. That's it, really. So like in the real world, people are mean to him, and he, probably was bullied pretty relentlessly. And apart from that one good idea that he stole from those rowers or whatever, and got rich off, he hasn't really done anything. And in the real world, people are mean, and the government wants to regulate him. But in his little infantile fantasy world,
that's so true, and he can bring everyone to his fucked up little hellscape.
Well, that's
the crazy thing is, he already like lives in that awful dystopian, like Black Mirror-y kind of existence. Like that is where he lives because that's where he's comfortable, because he's not really, he can barely breathe the air out here in the real world.
As if he wasn't powerful enough in the real world. Now
we all have to just fucking tap into the Matrix, and okay, that's what it is. It's the Matrix, pretty much. Now that I say it,
are we all going to live in Mark Zuckerberg's reality? So, like, instead of actually solving the housing crisis, or, making houses affordable. Is that actually just an excuse now? We don't have to deal with that. You can live in a little hovel in reality, but in the metaverse, well, you could be surrounded by, a stream that looked like, the background of the Donkey Kong race in Mario Kart 98.
Well, we're all going to live like Harry Potter under the stairs, but we'll be actually, in our fantasy land in the Matrix, we can do whatever we want, right? We can go, as you say, I mean, with Nintendo 64 graphics, but we can, as you say, like we can live on the fucking moon with Malcolm Roberts. We can pay. Well, let's all pay 50 fucking Chihuahua crypto coins to Christian Porter's rape slush fund or things like that. Like all of these things will be possible. We can all do it from the comfort of our own hovel.
From the hovel, yeah. Well, genuine question for the Pedophiles. I'd be fascinated to know. Please watch the meta video that we've been talking about. And then let's do a poll, if we remember, of course.
We almost certainly won't, but please.
Where would you rather live? Harry Potter's hovel under the stairs or Mark Zuckerberg's imaginary universe? Because I think I'm taking the staircase.
Yeah. Well, one crucial thing, like to answer that question, one crucial thing that I was waiting for the whole video to find out, but it never seemed to come up is can you fuck in the metaverse? Or if you cannot fuck, can you at least suck off and or get sucked off? It didn't really clarify, if you could do it person to person. If that robot that was playing cards was a sexual being, could you open up some sort of trapdoor and peg the robot? It was all left very vague, and I'm just wondering if there was any follow-up.
Well, it felt almost deliberate, right? That they didn't touch on that. Because as I was like, I was waiting for Mark to explain whether the robot could be sort of pegged or whatnot. But as you say, it seemed like a deliberate
mission.
It was almost evasive, right?
It was incredibly evasive. Because if you can guarantee me some sort of suck-offs per visit in the metaverse, then you've got me hooked. That's more than I can get in the real world. But he just left it open.
He's a real cock tease.
I really think the future of virtual reality, it shouldn't be left up to like the Zuckerbergs and like the Silicon Bros and stuff. It should be left to the porn industry. It should be Pornhub.
Preach.
If they're the ones, when we're 80, think, way down in the future, you can just hook into this thing. Your dick's hard as it was at 17. Suddenly, you can fuck this attractive girl. You can fuck this attractive man.
You can fuck Bonzo Buddy or whatever his name was.
Mythical creatures. Yeah. All that.
Oh, you could fuck a hippogriff. You could.
Legitimately, in the near future.
No, you could. And in the metaverse, the hippogriff would bloody love it.
Oh, and they're fucking great roots, hippogriffs.
Oh, damn straight.
I reckon some of our listeners are just licking their lips now at the prospect.
No, I'd fuck a hippogriff, of course. As if you wouldn't. If that was an actual feature in the metaverse, I would have a crack at that. Pretty interesting.
Love to fucking rail Dobby.
There really is no other
Master.
There's no other point to virtual reality other than the potential to fuck Dobby. As far as I'm concerned.
That's
because what's the best case scenario? They recreate a world that's so realistic that it's like our shitty world. Remember, they're gonna still have to get all their terrible ideas from this world. So the best case,
that's all it's about is fucking Dobby. Once you've come, you might just call up Blair Cottrell and watch a beheading video or something together, and then it's back to fucking Dobby.
I can't wait for the metaverse, to be honest. It sounds lit.
Me neither. I want to see this 3D swastika street art.
I can't wait to see.
Dude, imagine if Goebbels was here. He'd freaking lose his shit, dude.
The craziest thing is, all those things I can see so easily in real life. There was nothing that was a stream. It's I can see a stream. It was street art. I can fucking see graffiti every time I go on a train.
Yeah, that's what
it's not going to look good with my fucking iPhone strapped to my face either. That's not how I want to experience a stream. The fucking radiation just burning my eyeballs off with pixels 3 centimeters from my eyeballs.
And in what magical fantasy do I still fucking have to use Facebook?
That's not my version of utopia.
In my wildest dream, I still have to fucking use Facebook.
Yeah, can you still scroll in the metaverse?
Scroll through time.
Ooh, where were we?